What's up, guys? This is Bradley. I wanted to tell you about a company that I really like, ePayPolicy. They completely saved my tail on a case last week. As many of you know, I started my independent insurance agency with a lot of questions, concerns. I didn't know what I didn't know, and that proved true when I wrote my first agency-billed homeowners policy. I write this policy, and the client tells me, all right, let me pay you with a credit card. I'm like, how do I take a credit card payment? And guess what, guys? Square and PayPal, it's against their terms of service for you to use it for an insurance premium. God forbid somebody pay you and then you end up not getting that payment. So in came ePayPolicy. They completely saved the day for me, got me signed up within 24 hours. They provide the simplest solution for your agency to collect credit card and ACH payments while finally putting a stop to chasing those paper checks around. I don't want to be in the collection business. I want to be in the insurance business. With ePayPolicy, you pass the processing fees on to the client, keeping your bottom line intact while providing an added convenience to your clients of accepting digital payments. The page that you send the client for them to make the payment is branded and tailored to your agency. Mine has my logo. And when it comes to reconcile, their accounting dashboard keeps the process clean and simple, and they integrate with all the major management systems, including mine, at no extra cost. Look, they know how busy you and your clients are. They provide the simplest solution for your agency to collect credit card and ACH payments while finally putting a stop to chasing paper checks. There's no contract, no setup fee, no hidden costs. It takes less than 5 minutes to sign up, and they'll have you up and collecting digital payments within 24 hours like they did for me. Give ePayPolicy a call or hit them up online at epaypolicy.com and let them know that the insurance guys sent you.
Insurance agents from around the world, welcome to the Insurance Guys podcast. My name is Scott Howell, your fearless host and leader, insurance agency owner and insurance evangelist for I Protect Insurance and Financial Services, based out of Huntsville, Alabama. And before we get started on today's podcast, please help me welcome. He is a 6'3" sophomore from Saraland, Alabama, Parade First Team All-American, Rivals 5-star recruit. He is a fantastic insurance agent and a great American. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome the incomparable Mr. Bradley Flowers. How are you, Bradley?
Great, Scott. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic, guys. We have a very special edition of the Insurance Guys podcast. Today is a very special day in the world of insurance. It is a day that will live in infamy. Today is July the 1st, 2020, and today marks the very first day of independence for all nationwide captive insurance agents. And let me tell you something, Bradley Flowers, this has been a long time coming.
You've been talking about this since you and I first met.
Yeah, I wanted to do something today, and I was telling you right before we came on the podcast, I think the only reason I'm doing this is I have a platform to do it. You know, a lot of agents don't have a platform to do it, and some may agree with some of the things I say, some may not, but at the end of the day, I do feel a sense of loss, a sense of sadness that it's over. I've never told this story before. There was a nationwide principal agent in Coleman, Alabama. She just retired about a year ago. I won't say her name because I haven't gotten approval for me to use her name, but she and I were talking years ago. It's been 6 or 7 years ago at a district meeting for Nationwide. And somehow we got on the topic of Nationwide and what it means to us. And at the time, I don't know how we got on this, but she wasn't married. She looked at me and she said something I've never forgotten. And I think it speaks to kind of how I feel today about Nationwide. She said, you know, Scott, I never got married or remarried because I dedicated my life to Nationwide Insurance. I was married to Nationwide Insurance, and she had a pretty good book of business over there, and she did a great job.
Anybody who has that attitude is going to have a big book of business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And she did a fantastic job for her clients, and she was one of those principal agents that lived it, breathed it, ate it. It was her life. It was what she did. And when I think back to all the Nationwide principal agents and associate agents, the thousands of people since 1926 that have been a part of this company, the backbone of Nationwide Insurance and selling their products and services, it's kind of like walking out on the battlefield of Gettysburg and realizing how many people were out there fighting. It's a lot of people. It's thousands and thousands of people. So I think looking at it from that perspective, this day, while it's bittersweet, there is a sense to me of a little bit of sadness, obviously a lot of excitement. And I know that the agents that are moving over today to independence are excited. I know they're apprehensive, but they're excited and nervous. But I'm proud of all of them for what they've been able to accomplish over the past 6 months leading up to this, getting ready for this, all right smack dab in the middle of all that during a pandemic, probably the craziest time possibly in the history of the U.S. to be doing something like this. I mean, I don't know of any group of agents that have ever been through more than what these guys have been through in the past 6 months with all the changes. And then you add on to that the things that have been going on here in the United States. It's truly remarkable, to be honest with you. You know, I don't want to call this a eulogy, but I'm just going to go ahead and start my message today. And I told Bradley before I started this, I said, I'm not going to get emotional. I'm going to try not to get emotional, although when I was writing it, I was very emotional. So without further ado, today we celebrate both the life and rebirth of Nationwide's captive agency force. Over the last 94 years, starting with July the 12th, 1926, Nationwide has grown from a small mutual auto insurer owned by its policyholders to one of the largest insurance and financial services companies in the world. Today, on July the 1st, 2020, the rebirth of those Nationwide agents, the backbone of the company, takes place. And on behalf of the thousands of men and women that over the years have made up the exclusive agency force, I want to say thank you. Thank you to the Nationwide Board of Directors, the management group, the adjusters, the underwriters, the individual service center employees, the sales managers and trainers that have made this journey to independence happen. I want to say a special thank you to the following people who personally have helped me and my staff over the years to create a very special agency. Some have played a small part in this and some have played a big part in this, but I want to personally thank each and every one of them. I want to thank and start with Nationwide Principal Agent Mr. David Hall from Hamilton, Alabama, my hometown. David brought me into the Nationwide family in 2010, and I will always be indebted to him for that. I want to thank Randy Jones and Dallas Davis, who allowed me, when I started with Nationwide, to work in their agencies and train in their agencies for a short period of time before I started. And I want to especially thank 3 agents, Chris Davis, Bill Cochran, and William Oliver, for their friendship and their guidance and for just the helping hand that they were able to give me and show me throughout the years. And to all the Nationwide agents that I've had the honor to get to know over the years, which there are way too many to mention, I want to say thank you to all of you. I've been blessed and humbled to meet such a fantastic group of people, and to be able to be surrounded by those people from time to time has just been a true blessing in my life. I want to thank Gary Edgerton and the trainers at Northport Training Center for the time, the energy, and the effort that they put in training thousands upon thousands of associate agents and agents within the Nationwide family. And I want to thank my 2 sales managers, Katrina Mason, who brought me into the Nationwide family. And I know there were times during our relationship that she probably regretted that, but she was a big part in getting me into the Nationwide family and was a big part of our agency's success. And I also want to thank my most recent sales manager, Mr. Ron DeRay. I want to thank the following personal lines and commercial underwriters, some of whom are still at Nationwide and some have moved on to other underwriting positions with other carriers. These people were instrumental in our success throughout the years. So without further ado, I want to thank Ms. Kristen Clavon, Megan Treptow, and Charisse Grantham on personal lines. And on commercial lines, I know for a 100% fact that we would not be where we are today without the assistance from Mr. Ricky Watkins, Troy Pensa, Rick Bush, Lynette Bush, Keith Vaughn, and our current underwriter, Mr. James Jutesy. Thank you. You know, the staff adjusters that many times lent a helping hand to make sure that our clients were helped and satisfied with their claim, I want to say thank you to them. These are the staff adjusters that we had here in North Alabama that I worked closely with for many, many years. Matt Stewart, Darren Hill, Elton Grimsley, and Brett Tidwell. And last but not certainly least, I want to thank our former CEO, Steve Rasmussen, for his vision and guidance and leading us to today's move to independence. And I also want to thank Mr. Kurt Walker as he continues in his efforts to move Nationwide forward with his vision and his goals for the future. Let me end by saying this. I want to thank the thousands of men and women that have served as principal and associate agents over the years. Your tireless work and sacrifice cannot and will not be forgotten. And I want to leave you with a message that I heard actually on Twitter a few weeks ago, but for some reason, and I don't know why it struck with me, but for some reason, it made me think about the change that is happening today and what we have all been through in the past 6 months as Nationwide principal agents. So I want to leave you with this message.
Listen, man. Tonight's what our program's all about. I want you to think about it and let it sink in deep. This is the reason we work in the summertime, in January and February, in the spring. This is the reason we push you beyond what you think you can do to experience moments like this. Ain't no easy way in life, and it wasn't easy out there tonight, but you were prepared for the task at hand. Every one of you players, I mean, ain't no way. I ain't smart enough to tell you how I feel about you. I mean, and because, I mean, it's family, every one of you. I mean, you know it. Every one of you know it. And these coaches, been working with you every day, you family to them too. You're going to carry some of them with you as long as you live. As long as you live, you're going to have a little part of them inside of you. And you're going to have a lot of this program in you. You sunk some deep roots in the ground here tonight, man. You sunk some deep roots in the ground. Tonight, I'm going to tell you something now. Sure, I'd like to be 12, 11 and 0 and, you know, not. But I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't swap this year for any year that I've been in.
Nationwide.
I wouldn't swap it, man, because I've watched you struggle and I watched you wrestle with them angels, but I watched you grow up and become men. I watched you become men.
I will leave you all with this last thought. Always and forever, Nationwide is on your side. Guys, you are listening to the Insurance Guys podcast, and we will see you back here real soon. Take care. Thanks for listening to the Insurance Guys podcast. If you need to know more about me or you need to get in touch with Scott, you can always reach me at theinsuranceguyonline.com or email me at iprotectins@gmail.com. And if you need to get in touch with Mr. Bradley Flowers, go to bradleyflowersinsurance.com or email him at bradley@saralandinsurance.com. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to being with you again real soon on the next episode of The Insurance Guys. Take care.